United in the Europa League. Europa League. Me tell them one time, and we say Europa League. Europa.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Yes, we're back with more Europa League content. Fresh off last night, through to the next round, through to the last 16 of the Europa League, and we are here for the draw. Last time I did a draw, Paulo, it was Barcelona versus Manchester United. Here's hoping for a little bit of a better one today. How you feeling? How you feeling after last night?
Listen, in the studio, and pure vibes only. It was brilliant, man. After we conceded the goal, it just felt poor in the first half, didn't it? Let's be honest, it felt quite poor. And then second half, Ten Hag gives the talk. These players step up, and we win the game. Like it's just upsetting that we're coming out saying, "Oh, we still got quite a few games left to go in the Europa League." Do you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's funny because you want to like celebrate and you want to get excited, but then you go, "I've got a game on at the weekend, got a final," and it was just a playoff last night. You know what I mean? It's not the tournament final. So yes, a big day, a big draw. Now, when it comes to the draw, it's weird, these Europa League draws. They say 11 a.m. Who actually knows when they'll do the draw? Because there's a lot of preamble, there's a lot of discussion, all that kind of stuff. The teams that United could get today, these are the possible teams we could face. Fenerbahce. Now, this pronunciation, Paulo, is going to be a disgrace. Ferencvaros, Feyenoord, Freiburg, Real Betis, Real Sociedad again, which I didn't even know it was possible to play them that quickly just after, but we could play Real Sociedad again. And Union Saint-Gilloise are the possible teams for us to face. Arsenal are the other team in it, and they could actually get much more difficult draws than United, which is awesome. Exactly. Some really exciting draws could come out. Is there any team there that tickles your fancy that you'd look or you'd enjoy for United to get?
I think I would try to avoid Sociedad as much as possible because, you know, historically, we've been saying it the whole time. We struggle with these Spanish teams. To be fair, with Barcelona across both legs, we struggled, but I felt like we've done pretty well. I would say fairly comfortable in comparison to recent seasons when we faced Villarreal last season. Tough games against these Spanish teams. I think we can beat all of them. Owen, with this current form, we can beat all of these teams, and I'm happy that we're not going to get Juventus or any of those harder teams. Do you know what I mean? So, Freiburg, any of those teams we can beat. I think we can beat Sociedad, but to get them again so quickly, I'm not so sure I want that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at some of the people that Arsenal could get. They could get Juventus, Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, they can't get Manchester United. They can't play someone from the same country just yet. Roma, Sevilla, Shakhtar Donetsk, Sporting Lisbon, and Union Berlin are in there as well. So no possible Pogba reuniting at Old Trafford just yet. I mean, it might happen in the future. I don't even think he's played for Juventus.
No, he's been injured. He's been injured.
Exactly. It's crazy. I mean, and you know what's wild as well is you still see those people that go, I tell you what, if Pogba was back at the moment, if Pogba was at Manchester United, he'd be doing a madness. And I say, if Pogba was back at United at the moment, he wouldn't be playing because he hasn't played. He literally has not played.
It's funny you say that because yesterday on stream, Michael was on stream and that was the second stream. You saw that, and then he was talking about Pogba and everyone was slating him in the chat. They were saying, get him off. That's a poor debut for Michael. Hilarious.
Pogba's a loaded one, certainly. Yeah.
But I think you know what, Pogba, it is what it is. We have to move on from Pogba. But I think either way, like you said, he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't be here. The likes of Eriksen, you still got Sabitzer there, who some people thought he should have started yesterday. But look, we won the game and that's it. So against any of these teams coming up, we can do business.
Yeah, we can do business. And you know what? We not only did we win the game yesterday and the tie, we deserved to. Like we were the better team across both legs. The only thing negative coming out of the first leg is that we didn't win. We deserved to. We were the better team away from home. Yesterday, absolutely first half, we were shocking, really, really poor. But second half, we were brilliant again. And to your point, it looks like, I mean, fingers crossed, touch wood, we'll get a favourable draw here, certainly in comparison to the teams that Arsenal could get. But even if later on in the competition, we do get those big teams, we do get the Juventuses, we do get the Arsenals, we do get Roma, Jose coming back to Old Trafford, I'm confident. I feel like we can beat anyone at this point.
Absolutely. Like, just look at our form. Even when we're down at half time and you just think, poor, but second half, they're going to have to do something because Ten Hag is not going to, you saw it in the first half. We were playing poor, sloppy passing, kept losing the ball, just very sloppy. And then Ten Hag, you see it in his reactions. And I'm thinking at half time, it's not going to be a good sight seeing Ten Hag, shouting at you. And I can just see it in his face. We can all see it. He's that type of man who is never satisfied. Even in a good game like yesterday in the second half, he was still saying, like that in the second half. In the 88th minute, he was going. I'm thinking this guy is a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So really, against all of these other bigger teams, even in the league, City, Arsenal, like these games, like we deserve to get a win in some of these games, and we did. You know, we beat Arsenal in the first game. We beat City in the second game. So yeah, we can beat any team in this current form. Good rotation. I believe in us.
100%. We can beat any of these teams, and I mean, do you know what? I'm just thinking we can't. I don't think we've got a Portuguese team that we can face off against. So it's not going to be a lot of Portuguese pronunciations from you today. It's not going to be. I mean, we're going to get Bruno Fernandes, Diogo Dalot. You know,
yeah, it's
we get that. I'd have loved it if we'd have got like Sporting Lisbon or whatever. Oh,
yeah,
that'd have been the homecoming.
We might get them further down the road. We don't know.
Exactly. That's possible. That certainly is possible. They're just going through the rules of the draw at the moment, saying which teams could be playing who. So again, the draw will be starting very, very shortly. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can check out on the channel KG's chat with Anthony at Carrington ahead of the Carabao Cup final this coming Sunday. Really interesting one. KG not only asked Anthony for the explanation of the Tiger celebration, but also he did a spin in front of
that was
of Anthony.
Hilarious.
KG did a 360 spin, and Anthony himself said it was good. So that's positive. And also, actually, I think I can tell this story now. Before, so basically, the judge is every time Flex touches a player, they get injured or they get suspended or something like that happens, right? So that was. We always laugh about that. KG did that interview with Anthony a couple of weeks ago. And then after he did the interview, Anthony was out for like 2 or 3 weeks. And Flex has been like raging about it. He's been saying, because we can't say anything. He's like, when this comes out, I'm telling you now, I'm going to absolutely get you, KG, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Comes out. Anthony scored the winner last night, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Comes back, scores a goal.
Exactly.
Probably one of our most effective players on the pitch when he comes off the bench. Say no more. Yeah,
say no more. And you know what? It's funny with him, isn't it? Because he's so like even when I'm scoring last night, there are still points in the game which you'd go, maybe could have played a little bit better there, or do the right pass, the right decision. But
I think he gets. You know what it is? I feel like there's something about him that's too eager, you know, and then he loses balance. You know, it happened yesterday as well, where he goes on a run and he's like. And I think in his mind, he wants to do like a little step over, a little skill, and then he just loses balance. And I think that's just too much eagerness from him. Sometimes it's just better to keep it simple. And I think he will learn that, you know, as he gets older. I think Ten Hag will definitely instill that in him. And I think that's perhaps what he's missing in his game. But yesterday, you saw the difference with him on that right-hand side. We kind of missed it. And I enjoyed seeing Bruno Fernandes back in midfield, you know what I mean? So really enjoyed it to see him back in midfield because he's been playing on the right. So Anthony, for me, yesterday, game changer of Garnacho when they both came on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we were saying from earlier on the season. We kept saying there are times which Ten Hag looks to the bench and he doesn't see options there. He doesn't see people that can come on and change the game. Now he looks at the bench. He sees Anthony. He sees Garnacho. He sees even Dalot that he goes, I can bring him on at right back. You know, the fact that it's interesting. I mean, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I mean, you'd have never said before Christmas that he'd have played both games against Barcelona. It's a testament to him and testament to Ten Hag as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to respect it. You have to respect it. I mean, in November, just before the World Cup, we were talking about Maguire and Wan-Bissaka on stream, if you remember, and people were saying, well, I said it, but I probably shouldn't have said it, but we would play Wan-Bissaka at centre-back instead of Maguire. You know, but,
yeah, I remember that.
But it's one of them ones where Wan-Bissaka has come back and he's proven himself. And of course, for me, there's still a debate there whether he should be in that Ten Hag system, in my opinion. But he's played well, you know. A lot of people said he should have gone in January, but you know, come on, it wasn't going to happen. But there's still there'll be an ongoing debate. But I thought Wan-Bissaka, he's been brilliant in recent months, and I think that'll be interesting. Ten Hag might choose to keep him. Like, we don't know. There are games to be played against certain teams where he'll suit that style, you know, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka. So Wan-Bissaka is a testament to him, and he's been great.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, also known as the Spider, or as Marcel would say, the Trilantula. I don't know if you've seen this recently, Marcel's pronunciation of the Trilantula with an L. Oh, big up Marcel. I mean, just the atmosphere after last night. I mean, it was so exciting. I'm not sure I've seen Flex as excited as he was. He was first of all, lots of people have been saying because he was in the press area last night. People were like, muted celebrations. Unfortunately, you can't get up and go crazy amongst the journalists or anything like that. But it was tough. It was excellent. People still filing in, so be sure to smash a like on the like button. They're just about to start the draw now. They're having the all of the adjudicators. Guys wearing 2 microphones. Unbelievable. Yeah. They're just doing their preparations. I even remember last year doing the Champions League draw. I think it was with Flex and KG. I think the first one was with there was with Flex and KG when they got it wrong and they had to do the redraw where we were meant to have PSG. Yeah, exactly. And then that
was a shambles.
Yeah, and then and then they had to do the Atletico. We ended up getting Atletico. We went out anyway. It didn't matter. But here's hoping that doesn't happen again today. But yeah, I mean, are you concerned at all about just the amount of games that we've got? You know, considering that last night was so big, but now we've just got to focus and go right into the next game already.
No, I've been incredibly impressed because in October, or whenever it was, when we played the last Europa group stage game, and we were saying, God, extra game against Barcelona, we're not going to win this. We said it. We all said it. We're probably not going to win this. And then we go out and we beat Barcelona. But I've been impressed with the fitness. Fred, Bruno Fernandes playing all of these games. It's appreciation, Owen. It's just, no, honestly, it's unbelievable. I don't know how they do it. They do it because Bruno, we said it earlier on with the low, earlier on in the season, Wan-Bissaka's played a lot of games as well now. Ever since he's come back, the low's been out for a while. Now he's back. Anthony as well. There was a period that he was playing every single game. The fitness, you have to admire it. You have to admire that sort of fitness because some of these players have been playing 90-minute games week in, week out, two games a week. So for us to perform at this level, just imagine we had more depth within certain positions. You know, who knows where we'd be in the table? Yeah, we're third now, in a great position, but we could be further up the table. Some of these games that have been slightly tighter, maybe we could have gotten a result earlier on in the game. Like, honestly, it could have been game changers if we had deeper plays in certain positions, and Eriksen obviously being out, obviously Van der Beek, unfortunately, there would have been the difference in some of these games. But yeah, I've been incredibly impressed with them.
Right, the draw is just starting now.
There we go.
The first team out of the hat is FC Union Berlin, which is not one of the teams we can face. So it's I think they're doing it as people who win the knockout of playoff rather go first. So Union Berlin, they can play against plenty of teams: Arsenal, Fenerbahce, Real Betis, Sociedad, Feyenoord. They just can't face off against Freiburg, of course, in the same country. So interesting to see who they face off against.
Yeah,
I don't want them to face Arsenal. I want Arsenal to get someone really difficult. I want a difficult Arsenal draw.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see who they're going to go up against. The group winners, Zoltan Gera doing the draw as well. What a throwback. Yeah. And they're facing Union Saint-Gilloise. Yes. Saint-Gilloise, a Belgian side. That's a proper Europa League, that game, isn't it? Look at the Union. It's an Union. It's a union of the Onions. Look at that. Tremendous.
Yeah.
So that's the first draw out.
Next up,
so
let's see.
This could be United. The playoff, they're drawing the playoff people first. So Zoltan Gera is getting out. Sevilla.
Okay.
Sevilla are a weird one this season because they're really struggling in La Liga. I mean, a side that's so used to winning winning the Europa League, certainly, struggling this season. They've got George, what's his last name? Sampioli used to be head coach of Argentina and Marseille, etc. So who is Sevilla going to face off against? The group winners. Ball is just coming out. Is it going to be Arsenal? I mean, on the BT Sports stream, it's full of Arsenal fans. Fenerbahce. Interesting. So there are still, I mean...
That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah. I'd have liked to face that Union Saint-Gilloise. That'd have been a nice draw. So we've still got some difficult ones in there for us. We've still got Feyenoord, Ferencváros, Freiburg, Real Betis, Real Sociedad. Some difficult ones are actually in there, possibly for us, Paulo. Some potential banana skins.
God, please, let's just get an easier team, please.
Yeah. Juventus.
Juventus
out. So who are they going to face? I want Juventus to get Real Sociedad. Juventus, Real Sociedad. That's my pick. That's what I want to see. Get some of the. I just don't want to play Sociedad again. I know it's usually always be looking for revenge and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think we covered ourselves completely in glory when it came to Real Sociedad this season.
No, we I mean, those games earlier on in Europa League, we really struggled in the group stages. Scott McTominay coming off the bench to score us a winner. Was that against Sociedad, or was that a different game? Sheriff, that was Sheriff.
That was against Sheriff, yeah. And Juventus are going to face SC Freiburg.
Okay. Look at the smiles on their faces.
On the like button. I know they're very happy, aren't they? Very, very happy. I mean, they're probably just happy that Juventus still exists at the moment, considering what they're going through. Is this going to be United this time? Another team from the knockout playoffs pot. And it is Bayer Leverkusen. Still no sight of Manchester United. I tell you what, I feel like we're going to get Feyenoord. I feel like we're going to get Robin Van Persie's team. He said it last night. He was saying, "Oh, where's your loyalties lie?" All that kind of stuff. He was saying that, who would he support, Feyenoord or United? So who are they going to be facing? Ferencváros. They're from Hungary.
Yeah.
Zoltán Gera's home country. Bayer Leverkusen versus Ferencváros.
Okay.
We're going to get Sociedad. Paulo, we're going to get Sociedad. I'm telling you now.
I'm smelling it. I'm really smelling
we're
it.
We're getting Real Sociedad.
Ugh, come on.
I can feel it. They love a drama. Right, next out of the knockouts is... Oh, you can pronounce that one, Paulo.
Sporting Clube de Portugal.
Oh, tremendous.
Tremendous.
Yes.
Let's see here.
Sporting Club de Portugal. I can't do it. Why am I trying to repeat it?
Sporting. It's the R's, It's the R.
Yeah. Yeah. De Portugal.
They could get Arsenal.
And they did, Paulo. Look at that. Arsenal will be travelling to Sporting Lisbon. Oh, they look thrilled. Look at Edu's face. Look at him. He looks like he's just seen a ghost.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup.
To be honest, it could have been worse for them.
It could have been, definitely.
They could have been a lot worse. They'll probably take that. They should beat Sporting Lisbon.
They should.
Manchester United are out the hat. Come on. Who are we going to get? The chat goes wild.
What are you saying? Owen?
Well, either one. They're all difficult, but it's Betis, Sociedad, or Feyenoord. They're all going to be challenging. I say Eric goes back to the Netherlands. That's what is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to say Sociedad.
Oh, man, honestly. If we have to go up against David Silva again. Real Betis. Okay. We were both wrong. Manchester United will face Real Betis in the last 16 of the Europa League. Interesting, that one. I don't even know where Real Betis are in the league at the moment.
Let me check that right now.
That's Pellegrini. Hey, actually, we faced them in a mid-season friendly, didn't we? We faced them. We lost.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. We were rubbish.
Yeah. They're fifth in the league right now.
Oh, okay. Fifth in the league. Could be a bit of a challenging one.
Yeah. I think it'll be a tough game for us.
Manchester United facing off against Manuel Pellegrini. Once again, the former Manchester City manager is going to be making his return to Manchester as Manchester United face off against Real Betis. And again, the irony of ironies is that we did play them in those winter friendlies, and they're difficult to judge because I remember watching those. We did a couple of match reviews from the studio for them, and like Real Betis, the stadium was empty. It was just no one there. No one was interested. It was a bunch of kids playing there. But at the same time, look, Paulo, yes, we're facing another Spanish side, but we just faced a Spanish side. We just faced top of the league and we beat them. There's no reason to fear Real Betis.
We've got confidence. Like we said, any of these teams that we could have gotten, I would have been confident. With this current form, with this manager, with these players, with this sort of confidence, I believe in it. I believe in it. It's not like last season where we were getting all these teams, possible teams in the Champions League. We were saying, I don't see us beating any of these teams. Do you know what I mean? But this season it's different. It's a different sort of energy. So it'll be a difficult game. I think Betis 5th in the league. They're a decent team. They've got William in midfield, Bravo in goal. Some decent players. You know, they like to keep the ball. But listen, we're with Ten Hag. We've really gotten better at keeping possession, being more efficient in possession. So I think that against a Spanish team, we should really do well. You know, we beat Barca yesterday. You know, we can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, realistically, there's only a couple of teams left in this competition. After you play Barcelona and after you beat Barcelona, top of La Liga, only conceded like less than 10 goals in La Liga this season, only lost one game. When you beat Barcelona, there's only a couple of teams afterwards that you could possibly face in the Europa League that you'd go, oh, that's going to be really tough. And make no mistake, Betis is going to be a difficult game. But I think going into this one, could it have been an easier draw? Yes. But will we take it? Of course you will. Of course you will. You know, and again, Manchester United against Real Betis. I mean, the challenging thing, though, might be, Paulo, just looking a little bit ahead, is that we were somewhat confident with the Barca one because we knew that second leg was going to be Old Trafford, you know, atmosphere, get through the first leg, see what happens. Other way around this time. The first leg is going to be at Old Trafford. Second leg is going to be away. Is that something to consider, maybe, just a little bit?
Yeah, I think regardless, we need to put performance anyway. I think when we faced Barca in the first leg, it was like we should have definitely gotten a result yesterday. First half, we're playing at home. Our form at home this season has been really good, and then we put in that sort of performance in the first half. I think really, it's just down to confidence. And a lot of people were saying if we lose to Barca yesterday, will it affect us on Sunday? You know, a lot of people were saying that, but look, it's about confidence. It's about taking it game by game. When the game comes, I think then we start talking about the team. We look at what players are standing out and who he should start in the starting 11. But I think we need to consider that this is a good team. Like we will keep winning games, but you know, last season we were winning certain games and we're like, we beat Tottenham, we beat Arsenal last season, and then we would get battered by a Leicester or Everton. We need to remain consistent mentally, I think, in their minds. There's always that conversation about mentality on the stream yesterday. Steph was talking about it, and I don't think we're that team anymore. I was saying, I don't think we are. I don't think we're that sort of team who mentally we get too arrogant or we suddenly drop our heads. I don't think we're that sort of team anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. I saw you say that in your fan view, saying that we've changed as a team, and I think that again, that's because of our manager. You know, we've changed because obviously, yes, there's a bit of a different personality in the team as well, but we've changed because the manager, make no mistake, he won't be resting on his laurels. He won't think, oh yeah, we beat Barcelona, so we basically won the Europa League. And what does he keep saying? Trophies are won in May. They're not won. They're not won now, apart from the Carabao Cup at the weekend. But the majority of the trophies, the big trophies, they're won later on in the season. And the whole season is just to get you to that point, to give you the opportunity. What we need to do now, the next step for us, last night was a big step, knocking out a big team, a great team like Barcelona. The next step is to make the most of it now, is to go, okay, teams are starting to fear United again. Make no mistake, we're talking about, oh, Real Betis could be a little bit difficult. They're furious that they've got Manchester United. They're thinking, oh, my goodness, they just beat Barcelona. What are we going to do? And we've got to play on that. You know, it's going to be a big occasion for them. They'll be thinking the same thing as us with Barcelona, where they'll go, well, you know, second leg will be at home, get through the first leg, make it difficult. And we've got to show up. And at least the confidence is now we will show up. I'm confident that we'll show up. You know, like last season, you'd go into games and you'd go, I have no idea which United are going to show up. Yeah. I don't have a clue. We should beat Real Betis, but who actually even knows at this point? Yeah. You know for a fact, just like you knew at halftime yesterday, Erik ten Hag's going to show up. Erik ten Hag's going to do something. Erik ten Hag's going to fix whatever wrongs are there. And I'm happy with the draw. I'm happy with the draw. And do you think we can go the whole way? Do you think we can win the trophy?
Of course we can. We can definitely win this trophy. I think there will always be that conversation about squad depth and rotation, but we got to go game by game. We got to go game by game. And I think Ten Hag just needs to manage like he's been managing. Just let Ten Hag do Ten Hag. Just let him do what he's got to do. And of course, we'll question some of his substitutions. We'll question certain things at times. But listen, in recent games, when we're winning games, I haven't questioned it much because there's always a reason from Ten Hag. There's always a reason from him on why he's made certain decisions. So, you always got to question certain managers, just like we did with Ralph, just like we did with Oli. But with Ten Hag, it seems to be working right now because he's still in all competitions. So we can, you know what I mean? And it's it's unbelievable with this squad depth that he's still in full competition. So I'm confident.
Yeah, and you know what? The biggest positive for me with this as well is that we're not talking about, like the Europa League's our only shot at getting in the Champions League. Then I would feel concerned because I'd say, yeah, it's a tournament. You never know what can happen. But we're in the Europa League at this point just to try and win a trophy. It's not about, being like, it's because it's our only chance of qualifying for the Champions League. In the same vein of like, you look at Chelsea in the Champions League, they're terrified because they're thinking, tell you what, if we go out to Borussia Dortmund, like that's it. We're not getting in the Champions League next season. That's not the case for us. We're talking about, we want to win this just for to set down a marker, to send a message. And I think we can. I think with this group of players, it's easy to get caught up in everything. It's easy to be like, quadruple. And we're not going to do the quadruple or anything like that. Learn from the mistake of Liverpool last season.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Don't get too ahead of yourself. But Europa League, with the teams left in there, you'd say maybe us. Probably us and Arsenal are probably the favourites for the Europa League, in all honesty. No disrespect to the other European teams. There are big hitters in there like Juventus and Roma, but you would argue that the English teams left in this one, they're the ones that are the favourites. And who knows? Maybe it might end up being a United Arsenal final. Could you imagine that?
It could happen. It could happen. I think we have to remember as well that under Ollie, when we finished second, we were comfortable. But we wanted that Europa League, but we didn't get it in the end when we lost in the final. So I think Ten Hag, he wants to win everything. Personally, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for us to win multiple trophies this season. It will be extremely difficult. We have to take it game by game, so we shouldn't really be judging it like that. But I'm excited because I think we can win the Europa League. Arsenal, Juventus have been quite poor. They've been quite poor, honestly.
Yeah, really poor. Yeah.
So I think Arsenal again, they're not in many competitions. They only have Europa League, the Premier League. So
right, and it's weird. It's different situations, isn't it? Because Arsenal might look at it as, look, we're going to qualify for the Champions League anyway. We're just focusing on the title. Don't focus on anything else. It's kind of redundant because if they can win the title, that's the biggest thing that they could do. Mm-hmm. So they go, okay. Juventus, they might look at it as, look, we definitely ain't going to qualify for the Champions League because we've had that points deduction. We're mid-table. The Europa League, that's their option. That's their only shot. So maybe that's why you might want to avoid them. But at the same time, part of me wants to just put them to the sword because of that. You know what I mean?
I think
knock them out because of that.
The thing is, we have to be honest. Arsenal have been fantastic this season, and if they continue playing how they've been playing, and I know a lot of people have been saying, look, they're gonna drop out eventually. They're gonna start dropping points, and they have recently. But listen, Europa League, it's not Champions League, and they should really make it as further down in the tournament as possible. And I think we will meet them eventually. I think we will meet them eventually as long as we continue to perform consistently. We have to, they're there. They're right there. They're right there. So we beat them once this season. That second game, we could have gotten a win there as well against Arsenal. We can beat
Arsenal. We can beat Arsenal. We can beat anyone at this point. We absolutely can. We've proven it on our day, and not even on our day. We can beat anyone. Again, that game at the Emirates, I mean, they scored a last-minute winner. We didn't have arguably our best player, one of them in Casemiro, our most influential player. And even since then, we've grown massively too. Would have Arsenal have beaten Barcelona home and away? Well, certainly over two legs. I don't know. I'm not sure. So that's certainly the interesting one. Super chat here from Mark says, Rashford out long-term. Jesus. Is that true? Is that confirmed? Is that something that, again, I haven't seen that. I was waiting for, obviously, there was a story on... there was a story that he put on his Instagram last night saying that he put the injured head emoji.
Yeah, the emoji.
Because he limped off. But I can't see that anywhere. I don't know if you can, Paulo. I can't see anywhere that Marcus Rashford is out for the long term or anything like that. It's just that the only news that we have at the moment is that Manchester United are facing Real Betis in the round of 16, the last 16 of the Europa League. So, of course, we'll have to wait and see if there's any information about that. Yeah. My feeling is that Rashford will be okay for the weekend. That's my belief. I don't know, but I think he's fit. It might be Mark just getting worried, Mark getting concerned. Lots of people say I'm not concerned. He's ready to play. So there you go, guys. That's the draw. That's Europa League. Last 16, Manchester United versus Real Betis is the draw. The other draws, I can read them out. Not that we particularly care all of that much. Let me just find them here again. It's Union Berlin versus Union SG, Sevilla versus Fenerbahce, Juventus versus SC Freiburg, Bayer Leverkusen versus Ferencváros. I'm going to struggle, Paulo. I knew as soon as I said that one. Ferran Carrossery, Sporting Club de Portugal versus Arsenal, Manchester United versus Real Betis, Roma versus Real Sociedad, and Shakhtar Donetsk versus Feyenoord. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can go check out that interview with KG and Anthony, the non-exclusive, because everyone got to speak to Anthony that day. Yes, KG spoke to Anthony, did the spin in front of him. He explained the celebration, all that fun stuff. Plenty of content coming in the build-up to the Carabao Cup final this coming weekend as well. There's previews, fan clashes, you name it. We've got it covered. Sunday, of course, we've got the match view, fan views. Match Day Reloaded was this morning as well. It's all go at the moment, Paulo, certainly. Yes. It really is all go here at United View. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're out of here. Have a good Friday, and we'll speak to you again very soon. Peace.